Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss periodicity in the properties of the element which are there in the periodic table. Now what is meant by this periodicity? Periodicity means when we examine physical and chemical properties of the elements which are there in the periodic table, then there is some regular pattern observed in their properties. So this regular pattern is called periodicity. Means after certain atomic number there is repetition, there is periodicity in the property. Clear? So like melting point, boiling point, atomic size, then ionic size or ionic radius, then ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, all these properties they show periodicity. But in this chapter we will focus on atomic radius, ionic radius, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy and electronegativity. And our discussion will be based entirely on the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit, means the number of valence electrons, and the number of energy levels, means the number of orbitals or the number of last orbit. Why? Because we know that modern periodic table is based on the atomic number of the elements. Clear? And the outermost electron configuration of the element will decide its physical and chemical properties, and that is why we will discuss this periodicity in the properties on the basis of the number of electrons present in the valence shell as well as the number of energy levels or the number of valence shells. Clear? Okay, now let us begin. I have drawn here only the some portion of periodic table in which I have mentioned the elements which belong to the second period and the elements which belong to the first group. Clear? So keeping these elements in mind, we will now try to learn how the atomic radius or ionic radius show periodicity. Clear? Now here, suppose first of all we take the first periodic property, and that is atomic radius. Atomic radius means it is the size of the atom. Atom is always assumed to be spherical, and that is why we always consider its radius. But we also know that atom is extremely small in size, so it is very difficult to determine its radius. Clear? Its size. Moreover, there are many electron clouds present around the atom, and that is why, and these electron clouds, or we can say the orbitals, they don't have definite boundary, and that is why also it is not possible for us to determine the atomic radius or the atomic size precisely. Clear? But even then, with the help of X-ray and some spectroscopic method, we can find out the atomic radius. Now here in this particular topic, two more terminologies are mentioned, and they are about covalent radius and the metallic radius. Covalent radius means when two atoms, when they covalently they are bonded to each other like this. This is one atom, this is another atom. They are covalently bonded with each other by a single bond, and these are the nuclei. Clear? So this is the distance between the two bonded nuclei. Clear? So this is called the covalent radius. Clear? But suppose we have the metallic element. Clear? In metallic element we consider a single atom and its a nucleus. So this is the radius. Clear? Now in metallic element also the atoms are arranged like this. Clear? They are very close to each other. So these two are the distance between the two nucleus of these atoms, it is called the internuclear distance, and the half of this distance is considered as a metallic radius. But in this chapter we will focus, or we will use the word atomic radius only. Clear? And it is understood if the element is non-metallic, then it may be covalent radius, and if it is metallic, then we are talking about the metallic radius. Clear? So in general we will use the word atomic radius. Now what happens to atomic radius down the group? Now here you can see when we go down the group, clear, then the atomic number increases. Lithium is having atomic number 3, means it is having 3 protons in the nucleus, sodium 11, potassium 19, rubidium 37, cesium 55 and francium 87. So when we go down any group, then there is increase in the atomic number. Clear? It means there is increase in the number of proton present in the nucleus. Clear? So the effective nuclear charge increases. But at the same time, the number of the outermost orbit also increases. In lithium, the last electron, that is the valence electron, is present in 2s orbital. In sodium it is in 3s orbital. In potassium it is in 4s. In rubidium it is 5s, cesium 6s and francium 7s. So down the group, though atomic number increases, the number of the outermost shell, the outermost orbit also increases. It means that though all these elements are having single valence electrons, but with increase in the atomic number, this electron, valence electron, is going further away from the nucleus. Clear? Because the number of orbital increases. Got it? And that is why the electron is going away from the nucleus. Moreover, you can see here in lithium I have written 1s2, 2s2. Means before 2s orbital there is 1s orbital present in which there are 2 electrons. But if we talk about sodium, then the configuration is neon 3s1. Now what is neon? It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So total 10 electrons are there here in this inner orbital, and there is only 1 electron in the valence orbital. Clear? It means that in case of sodium, there are 10 electrons which are present between the nucleus of sodium and the last electron which is present in 3s orbital. Clear? So these 10 electrons, inner 10 electrons of sodium, they will provide a shield between the valence electron and the nucleus, and that is why the effective nuclear force of attraction on the valence electron will decrease. Clear? And that is why there is increase in the size. Got it? So when we go down the group, with increase in the atomic number, the number of orbital also increases. Means the valence electron is going away from the nucleus, and as the atomic number increases, the number of electrons in the inner shell also increases. And this increased number of electron in the inner shell, they produce or they provide a shield for the outer electron, that is the valence electron. Clear? So that the effect of the nuclear force of attraction on the valence electron will decrease, because in between these two there is a shield of electrons, inner electrons. Clear? So when we go down, the number of inner electron increases. In lithium there are only 2 inner electrons, in sodium there are 10 inner electrons, in potassium there are 18 inner electrons. Clear? So number of inner electrons, the core electrons, increases, and so the shielding effect also increases, and that is why the size of the atom increases. Clear? But when we see the period, then when we go across the period, any period, when we go from left to right of any period, then we see that the atomic number increases as it increases in the group. Similarly, across the period also atomic number increases. Clear? And if you see the outermost configuration, then in lithium the last electron is in 2s orbital, in beryllium it is in 2s orbital, in boron it is in 2p, in carbon again it is in 2p, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, all these elements, they have their last electron present in 2p orbital. Clear? Now here when we write the electron configuration, the last orbit is called the valence orbit or the valence shell. So for all these elements of second period, clear, we have studied that the number of period indicates the number of valence shell, clear, number of outermost orbital or the number of highest principal quantum number for those elements. So for all these elements in the second period, the number of outermost orbital is same, and that is 2. Clear? So though there is increase in the atomic number, there is increase in the number of proton in the nucleus, there is increase in the number of electrons also, but these electrons are added to the same outermost orbit, that is second orbit. It means that if this is the nucleus, this is the first orbit and this is the second orbit, then in all the elements of the second period, the distance between the nucleus and the second orbit is not increasing, it remains same. Clear? And that is why with increase in the atomic number, nucleus is becoming more and more powerful, because the number of proton, the number of positive charge in the nucleus is increasing, but the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron remains same, and that is why nucleus now strongly pull these electrons, valence electrons, towards itself. Clear? So the effective nuclear force of attraction on the valence electron increases because distance is the same, whereas in case of group, distance increases successively. Clear? But here distance remains same, but the number of proton in the nucleus is increasing, and so the nuclear force of attraction on the outermost electron increases, and that is why there is a shrinking of orbital, there is reduction in the size, and consequently atomic radius decreases across the period, but it increases down the group. This is same for every group and every period. Clear? In this chapter, we will not discuss this periodicity in the property of inert gases. For example, if we take atomic radius, now inert gases are inert, clear, and that is why they exist as a monoatomic. Clear? They are monoatomic, and so they have very large atomic radius. Clear? But we will not consider that they have completely filled orbit or the shell. So we will focus only on these many elements. Clear? When we discuss the periodic properties. Okay. Now second periodic property is ionic radius. Ion means either the atom, if it loses or gains electron, then it is converted into either positive charge or the negative charge respectively. Clear? If it loses electron, clear? So by loss of electron, atom is converted into positive ion. For example, sodium. Sodium is having 11 electrons, in which the last electron is present in 3s orbital. If this electron is removed, then now sodium will acquire +1 charge. Why? Because it is having 11 proton, but now the electrons are 10, 1 is lost. Clear? So 11 minus 10, so +1. So sodium is converted into +1 ion. Clear? So this positive ion is called cation. So cation is formed by loss of electron from the neutral atom. Similarly, when the atom, neutral atom, gains electron, clear, then it is converted into negative ion, which is called anion. So cation is a positive ion and anion is a negative ion. Clear? For example, fluorine. Fluorine is having 7 valence electrons. If it gains 1 electron, then it is converted into F minus 1. Why? Because in fluorine, atomic number is 9, means there are 9 protons in the nucleus. 1 electron is added, so now there are 10 electrons. Clear? So 9 minus 10, and that is why -1 charge is there. So negative ion is obtained by gain of electron, and that is called anion. Positive ion is obtained by loss of electron, and it is called cation. Clear? Okay. Now we will see the size. Cation is always smaller in size compared to the parent atom. For example, we take sodium. Sodium atom it is having 11 protons and 11 electrons. Clear? So it is electrically neutral. But when sodium ion is formed, then proton remains same, but electron is lost. One electron is lost. Clear? So now here you can see in Na plus ion, positive ion is a more positive charge is more dominant compared to the negative charge. Clear? So here positive charge outweighs the negative charge, and that is why the nucleus is now stronger than before. Clear? Because initially 11 protons in the nucleus, they were attracting 11 electrons, but now 11 protons in the nucleus are attracting 10 electrons. So this attraction is powerful. Clear? And that is why the orbital is there is shrinking of orbital, or the 10 electrons, they are pulled more near to the nucleus, and that is why there is reduction in the size. So cation is always smaller in size, smaller in comparison to what? The parent atom. Clear? Then comes anion. For example, fluorine. Now fluorine is having 9 proton and 9 electron. Clear? But when fluoride ion F-1 is formed, then 1 electron is added, means now 10 electrons and 9 protons. Got it? So now number of electrons outweigh number of protons. So there will be repulsion among the electrons. Clear? In fluorine you can see the configuration is 2s2 2p5. Now this 2s2 2p5 means it is 2px2, 2py2 and 2pz1. That 2pz1 is having the vacancy of 1 electron. So when 1 electron is added to fluorine atom, it is converted into fluoride ion, and that added electron enters 2p orbital, 2pz orbital. Clear? So there will be repulsion between the electron and electron. Got it? And that is why, due to, now here the nuclear attraction, compared to that the electron repulsion becomes dominant. Clear? And so due to the electron repulsion, the size of anion increases. There is increase in the size. So anion is always bigger in size compared to the parent atom. So fluoride ion is bigger than fluorine atom. Sodium ion is smaller than sodium atom. Clear? Okay. Now we go for the ionic radius or the ionic size. So same pattern or same trend is observed in case of ionic radius as we have discussed in case of atomic radius. As in atomic radius it increases down the group, similarly ionic radius also increases down the group. For example, here when lithium ion is formed, then this 1 electron is lost, but it is having 1s2 configuration. When sodium ion is formed, this electron is lost, but it is having neon like configuration, means it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So now the outermost orbit, see for Li plus 1 ion the outermost orbit is 1s. For Na plus 1 ion the outermost orbit is 2s and 2p, means the second orbit. For potassium it is third orbit. For rubidium it is fourth orbit. Clear? So even though the atom is converted into the ion by loss of electron, but the number of outermost orbital increases down the group in case of ions also, and that is why the ionic size, clear, ionic size increases down the group. Whether it is cation or anion, it increases down the group because the number of outermost orbital increases down the group. Clear? Only the last orbital which I have mentioned here, it will be removed. Otherwise the remaining orbitals are there. So in case of lithium, now the last orbit is 1s. In case of sodium ion, now the last orbit is 2s2p. In case of potassium, the last orbit is 3s3p. So the number of outermost orbit increases in case of ions also, whether it is positive or negative ion. And so ionic size also increases down the group. Clear? And across the period it will decrease. So atomic and ionic sizes across the period or down the group, they will show the same periodicity, they will show the same trend. Now here the important thing is about isoelectronic ion. Now what is iso? Iso means same. Isoelectronics means same number of electrons. So though these are the ions of different elements. For example, sodium is 11, magnesium is 12, aluminium is 13, oxygen is 8, fluorine is 9. So all of these are having different atomic number, and they are having different charges also, but the number of electrons in them is the same. For example, sodium, 11 electrons are there, 1 is lost, so now it is 10 electrons in sodium ion. In magnesium, atomic number is 12, means 12 proton and 12 electron, plus 2 charge means loss of 2 electrons, so now 10 electrons are there. In aluminium also 10 electrons because there is loss of 3 electrons. In oxygen, atomic number is 8, means 8 proton and 8 electrons. Now there is a gain of 2 electrons because it is minus 2 charge. So when 2 electrons are gained, then the number of electron will become 10. Clear? In oxygen atom it is number of electron is 8. But now oxide ion is formed, then it will become 10. Fluorine, atomic number 9 means 9 proton, 9 electron. Clear? But when F minus 1 ion is formed, 1 electron is gained, then it will have 10 electron. So all these ions, though they are positively or negatively charged, they have different atomic number, but they have same number of electrons. So they are called isoelectronic ions. This can be asked in MCQ type question, which of the following is not isoelectronic ion. Clear? Or you will be given the group of 3 or 4 ions, and you will be asked that which of the following pair is not the isoelectronic ions or isoelectronic species. Clear? In case of isoelectronic species, though the number of electron is the same, but their atomic numbers are different, their number of protons are different, and that is why their sizes will be different, their radii will be different. Clear? So here, though these 5 are isoelectronic ions, but they will have different ionic radii. Clear? Okay. Now here you can also be asked another type of question, that you may be given these 5 ions and you may be asked that which of the following is the correct order of increasing ionic radius. Then what you have to remember, for positive ion, larger is the charge, smaller is the size. So if you consider these 3 positive ions, then aluminium ion is the smallest because it is having larger charge. Magnesium is smaller. Magnesium is also smaller, but it is bigger than aluminium. Sodium is even bigger. So in this case, aluminium is the smallest, then magnesium, and then sodium. Clear? But when we consider the negative ion, then in case of negative ion, larger is the size, larger will be the radius. Clear? The larger is the charge, larger will be the radius, because more will be the repulsion. So in oxygen, 2 electrons are added to the same atomic orbital, that is second orbit. Clear? So repulsion is more. In case of fluorine, only 1 electron is added. Clear? So in case of negative ion, larger is the negative charge, more will be the repulsion. Clear? And so bigger will be the ion. So among these two, oxygen ion will be bigger in size compared to fluorine atom, because in oxygen repulsion is more. Clear? So this type of MCQ based question can be asked from isoelectronic ions. Clear? Now for today this much is enough. Tomorrow we will go for the other periodic properties. Have a nice time.